What's up, everybody? This is podcast Gameoverse, episode 060, Saturday, February 13th, 2021. I am Wasabi Ice Cream, your host. With me, as always, my dude, Rick.
Yo, what up? I am excited. We got a good show going on. We got some more CD PROJEKT RED stuff to talk about. Some patents got approved. We got quite a bit of a show to go on today. But first, as always, man, what have you been playing?
Still playing that Persona 5.
It's good shit, right?
It's good. It's good. I'm no, I'm not gonna say anything I'm not gonna say anything bad about it, other than it's just, boy, that it starts slow. It starts really slow. It starts slower than I expected. So yeah, that was that's my main hold up about it, is that, man, it's slow to start. But I like it. It's Persona.
Yeah, man. It's a great game, man.
I haven't played Persona in a while, so that's it's taking me a minute to get back into the Persona mode, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
That's good. I love me some Persona, and Persona 5 has enough quality of life improvements over 3 and 4 that it's a good one to get into.
Yeah.
It's a good first Persona game, but if you want to go back and play 3 and 4 after playing 5, you're gonna have a rough
I don't know about that. I'm still my memory of 4, at least, is I'm remembering it fonder than
4's still good. I think the story for 4 is better than 5, in my opinion. But gameplay wise, there's a lot of quality of life stuff that's kind of hard to ignore. You'll see what I mean if you ever go back and try it.
Yeah. The soundtrack slaps. I've had the soundtrack for a while, actually, but I never listened to it. That smooth, jazzy song that plays in the loop when you're in the restaurant, that you just hear over and over.
Yeah, the soundtrack, that one's good.
But then at some point, they throw lyrics in on that shit, and I'm like, holy shit, there's lyrics to this?
Yeah, man. It's so good.
And then after that, they just kept using the lyrics, and I was like, okay, it's starting to wear off now. You can but yeah, that song, I've had that song stuck in my head for weeks, and then the lyrics kicked in.
It's so good, man. I think all the Persona games have a great soundtrack, man. When I first played Persona 4, I would listen to the soundtrack on repeat. I was looking up covers of the soundtrack. I couldn't get enough of it. And it was the same problem with 5. You're playing Royal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The opening song's another good one. What is it? Colors Flying High is really good. That one, I'll listen on a repeat forever. Oh, it's so good. I gotta go back and finish Persona 5 Royal. I'm at the very last dungeon, but I never finished it. I need to go back and finish it. But I'm happy you're happy, man. Great game. I'm happy you finally get a chance to experience it. Persona's the kind of game I wish everybody would play at least.
Yeah.
You're gonna go back and play Persona 4 now that it's on PC?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I never finished it. So maybe I'll probably use Cheat Engine just to speed through it or something.
You played did you play the original Persona 4 or did you play Golden on the Vita?
I played Golden on Vita, yeah.
Okay. So the good one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you want to use cheat engines to get to the end, I guess you can, but it's still a experience. Still playing through it.
What I didn't notice about 5 is that the AI is a lot smarter. Your teammates, when you have them on, when you just tell them to do their own thing, they're a lot smarter in this game than in Persona 4.
Yeah, they're a lot smarter in this one. I still recommend setting them up to control directly, but they're a lot smarter than they are in 4.
Yeah, I set them up during the boss fights. I'm like, okay, you don't have to waste all your SP on this guy you can just kill with a normal attack, or like, no, you should be defending now because there's like a thing. Like they're still not smart enough to do that, like to see an attack coming and and plan ahead. But
Yeah.
um, like they're smart enough to know, okay, this is I have the weakness to this guy, so I'm gonna use that attack, and then I'm gonna another new mechanic that no one talks about. When people talk about this game, I feel like they don't talk about the new shit.
Yeah.
They have the mechanic where you can like slap hands and trade someone in,
All
and
the
then they
sound
come
pass.
in
Yeah.
stronger. Like they're smart enough to like do that. Like, hey, she's got the fire weakness, so I'm gonna slap her in, and then she'll do the fire shit. Like the AI is pretty smart at doing that stuff. So I kind of just let them go.
That's what I like about Persona 5. Now, your opinion, because I know a lot of people, there's like a point of contention for a lot of people. Do you like the turn-based combat in Persona 5? Do you think it works with everything that they're doing, or would you rather more like an action? Um,
Um, does it work as like for the for the whole series? Because I mean, I feel like that's something
I mean,
they
like in
haven't.
general, 'cause, like there's a point of contention with a lot of people I've talked to. Like a lot of people I know, like just don't straight up don't like turn-based combat, and they think like everything that they're doing would be better if it was like an more action-heavy combat.
No, I like turn based stuff when you have your systems in place. Like
Yeah.
Persona has a lot of systems where you're trying to look ahead and seeing what kind of enemies you're fighting, what the weaknesses are, and exploiting those weaknesses, and then you're um, building your team to have certain strength as well,
Yeah.
and planning all that out is like that's kind of what the whole thing is. I mean, if you had like a more action oriented thing, you would miss a lot of that. Not to say that like because I do most of the time I prefer the action stuff over
Mm.
turn based, but if I have a good system for turn based stuff, I really like that. Like people hated fucking Final Fantasy 13. It's one I always go back to, but like I fucking love the combat system in that game just because it does have that like strategy element of okay,
Mhm.
I gotta put this guy in this mode, and then I'm gonna have two guys on Ravager or Synergist or whatever the fuck, and like you can make those combinations and then kind of like plan out
Mhm.
like different strategies. Or like Final Fantasy 10 is one people talk about as well, where like I like seeing the turn. I like seeing whose turn it is next, and like Final Fantasy X was good at that because it would tell you like the next like 6 or 7 turns, so like you could plan, and then you could manipulate it in real time and like put someone to sleep, and then they would lose their turn, and then like that's the kind of shit that I like is like
Yeah.
manipulating all that stuff. So that's when I really like turn based, but sometimes you like half-ass it, like Final Fantasy VII Remake, where it's like I'm not satisfied in either direction. Like
Yeah.
that's what I hate.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I played the demo, and from what you've told me, the demo doesn't have a lot of improvements on it, but there's not enough control, like action wise. Like I can't dodge cancel, which is frustrating as fuck to like
Yeah,
make it like a good action game. But there's also like not enough like control to make it like to give it that like role playing like strategy element they want to incorporate in it so bad. I think Persona 5 is like great though. It's just perfect. I think it's one of the best turn-based systems like ever. Like I don't think I know any other game that can beat it except for maybe Bravely Default comes like a really close second. But
yeah,
whenever people tell me like, oh, turn-based games are like outdated, we don't need them anymore, like I point at Persona 5. It's so good.
yeah,
But I'm glad you like it, man. That's great. I'm happy to hear that. I'm sorry I haven't caught the stream. Wife and I have been. I think I mentioned this like last podcast. We're house shopping, so I've been super busy, taking up all my time. I still have time to play some games. I've been playing a lot of Grim Dawn just because it's really easy to like boot up, play, run a little bit, kill some
yeah,
guys, maybe find like a sanctuary, and then turn it. Oh, I forgot to mention, I picked up Age of Calamity, and it's fucking excellent.
yeah. Got
Yeah, it's really, really good. It's a Hyrule Warriors game for sure, but I feel like the combos in it are a bit deeper than they were in the original Hyrule Warriors. The story's really good. I don't want to spoil it, but it's not what I was expecting. Like I expected like a retelling of what we saw in Breath of the Wild. You know, the flashbacks to a retelling of that whole thing. That's not it. Like there's a lot of curveballs. There's one big curveball at the beginning. I don't want to spoil, but it's like right at the beginning. I haven't really seen it advertised too much, so I'm not going to spoil it. But there's a twist there in the beginning that makes me think like, oh, this is not going to go like how I thought it was. Um, everything's back. Like all of your abilities are back. You still have the remote bombs, the stasis, cryo, and magnesis. That's all still there. But each character uses it differently, which is really cool. Like Link's like super basic. Like if you use like the magnet ability, it'll just pick up whatever's metal and swing it around at people. And you control it. You can move it around and knock people around with it like you could in Breath of the Wild. But if someone like Impa uses it, she brings it all together. It makes like a giant sword of like metal objects you find. You slap people around with it. It's so cool. Like I'm having so much fun playing it. I really recommend like if you like Breath of the Wild, Age of Calamity is a lot of fun and the action's really because it's on Switch, there is some performance issues. Like the game stutters a lot. It can't maintain a full 60 FPS all the time. Frustrating. There's a lot of noticeable dips in it.
That's a bummer, dude.
Enemies, yeah, it's a huge bummer. Enemies pop up on screen randomly if you're playing handheld, less frequently in docked, but in handheld there is some noticeable suffering. But dude, goddamn, the game's so much fun. Like I put up, like I don't mind. It bugged me a lot in the beginning, but I don't mind it so much because the game's. But
All right.
highly recommended from me. I've been playing that a lot. I've dumped like I think 10 hours into it already. I haven't.
All right. Age of Calamity. There was some noticeable suffering.
Yeah, very
Uh,
noticeable, but it's good.
Akira. Akira in the chat. What's up?
What's up, Akira?
Yeah, I kind of desperately want to play that game, but I don't. My Switch is still. I figured out what's wrong with it.
Fix
I just
it.
need to charge it. All it needs to do is just sit on the dock for like a month. Uh,
Are you serious?
yeah, because I took it off and I plugged it in. Um, but I didn't have my fucking SD card in when I when I finally got it to turn on. I didn't have my SD card in it, so like I couldn't do anything, and then it fucking died again before like because in the mode I have it in, it doesn't charge like it charges super slowly. Um, so like I have to get it into the system, and then it'll start charging normally. But I couldn't get to the
Gotcha.
system with the SD card out, so
You just
um,
gotta dock it, forget it, come back like in a month, fix it.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. So
well, definitely do it, man. Like the game's good. Like the game's really worth it. It was on sale. I don't know if it still is, but I picked it up on sale. It was like $10 off, like
nice.
everywhere, like at Best Buy, Walmart, Target, and I got like a gift card from work, from Walmart. So that's why I went up, and it's a lot. I recommend.
That's pretty
Especially
soon
since like
already.
yeah, I know. It was on sale. I was surprised to see it too because like Nintendo games like never go on sale.
Yeah,
A Nintendo game is $60. It'll be $60 unless you want to buy a copy pre-owned, and then maybe it's like 55. It's like I have no idea what it is about Nintendo games that make them like maintain their value so well, but there it is. But Age of Calamity is good. I highly recommend it. If you played the first Hyrule Warriors, it's a lot better than the first one. And I played the first one on 3DS and Wii U. I haven't bought it on Switch yet, but I do like it. I think Age of Go pick it up. If you have a Switch, go pick it up. It's worth it. Add it to your library. You won't regret.
all right. Age of Calamity. Um, I've been playing some. Not like. I've been playing a little bit of Binding of Isaac again.
Oh, that's a good game. That's a good one.
Some new mods came out, and boy, like they. What the fuck is it called? It's called Fiend Frenzy or something. It adds like thousands of new enemies. It adds like thousands of new rooms, like room types. It mixes everything up. And
So
then
what
I
did you
got
say that was? This was like a mod, or is this like a new expansion?
no, it's a mod. Fiend
Yeah,
Folio. Fiend
Fiend
Folio.
Folio.
Yeah. So I got that and just like a bunch of other different mods that like recently came out, and yeah, it just completely changes the experience. Adds like a ton of new shit, and just makes the game a lot harder because like I got to the point where I could like pretty easily complete a run, no matter what character I picked or like no matter what, I could easily complete a run every time. Now, yeah, no. Now I'd be lucky if I get out the first room again. It's like a fresh new game again. Like I'm playing it for the first time. I suck again. Like they made it just so much harder. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. Just like in my free time, just just get high as shit. My favorite pastime has become just getting high as shit and then playing.
Just playing roguelikes.
Yeah. So
I'm glad you could do that. You live in Denver. Well, I mean, Tucson, Arizona just had it legalized, so
nice.
maybe I'm not
Yeah.
too far off. Once everything's good to go, I won't be too far off behind you.
Yeah, I don't I mean, I found out the hard way that I can't hang when I'm high, dude. Like I just can't like there's people that just get like high as shit and then like can have like a full on conversation and just like go outside and do things. I'm not one of those people. I like I cannot leave my room. If I'm getting high that day, I'm in my chair, not talking to anyone, not doing anything cuz like I can't handle the world when when I'm fucking blasted. So I had to find
That's
that
fine.
out. I had to find that out the hard way. So
I mean, I'm the same way, dude. Like when I start drinking, like I can drink with friends, but I prefer like staying home, having a beer to myself, hanging out, watching TV.
yeah.
So like, no shame in that, man. You know
Um.
what you like. There's no shame in that.
Yeah.
Somebody should
Also, it's
force you
like
to stay alive.
fucking like this week is cold as shit here, man. It is cold
Oh
as
yeah?
shit.
What's the weather like in
Fucking
Denver right now?
negative 22
Oh,
degrees.
oh God. It was like it's starting to warm up here, but when it was really cold, it was hitting like 40, 50 degrees. I was like, this is fucking awful. But I live in the middle of the desert, so anything below like 70 like sucks for me.
Yeah, that must be nice. Cause
I
this is
can't
fucked.
imagine like negative anything. Sounds awful.
Leo gets in the chat, says climate change. Yeah, I don't know. Well, because it's weird, man. Because usually Colorado's weird, man. Because like when I first moved up here, um, not on purpose, but like I moved up here like on 420, and like you would like, in my mind, like April is like the end of like the winter in my mind. Like March, like definitely is like starts to taper off, but April you shouldn't be seeing anything. This was the end of April and it was fucking snowing here. It's insane. So like it definitely like the tail end of like the winter is when it gets bad here because it's been fine leading up like all the way through, but yeah, this is just it's bad, dude. I fucking hate winter.
That's nice. I mean, I get it. You know what you like. I got my sister-in-law is getting married, so we're gonna go see her in August. But she lives in like Alaska, so
Wow.
that week is gonna fucking suck.
Yeah,
I'm like, I
like
don't like the cold, so that's gonna suck hard.
back before I like was more traveled and like before I knew how the world worked. Like I have family in Canada, and I thought like we were going to visit them and like during the summer, but I'm like, oh fuck, it's like way up there. It's probably gonna be cold as fuck. So like all I packed was like sweatshirts and
Yeah.
like, you know, I packed like winter shit because I'm thinking, oh, it's further north, it's gonna be freezing up there. Kind of find out, no, it's a normal ass. They have normal summers there, hot as shit. Uh, so yeah, so I know there's spots in Alaska where it's also like, you know, they have like fairly normal seasons, but
I'll have to check with her then, because I have no idea. I'm not as well traveled at all.
yeah.
The farthest I've gone is like Mexico. Like that's as farthest I think I've gone. Um, well, no, I went to New Mexico to visit my brother. So Mexico and New Mexico, but I'll check with her and see. Like, I'll just give her a call. Like, yo, what do I need to pack? Like, what is an August in Alaska?
Shit, what's the furthest east you've been?
Furthest east I've been?
Yeah.
God, I don't think I've ever gone east, really.
Really? Shit, man.
Yeah.
Ever been to New York?
No, man. I'm a
That's the
homebody, dude.
city.
I don't really like go anywhere. I don't really go anywhere, man. I'm more of a homebody. Like the only reason I like traveled anywhere is like to visit people. So like I went to New Mexico to visit my brother there, Texas. I've been to California, you know, like Disneyland and shit, but no, I've never really gone east. Yeah, the farthest east I've gone is like New Mexico. No, actually Texas. I went to Texas to
Okay,
visit my
yeah.
brother. But like that Texas fucking sucks.
It
I went
does.
to Austin, I think. I think it was Austin. I can't remember, but it fucking sucks. I was all excited because like it was in the middle of our summer, so it was like it was hitting like 100 degrees here. And Texas is like, oh, it's expected to be like 70, 80. So I'm like, okay, cool. It's gonna be kind of cool there. I can beat the heat for a little bit. I didn't see like the 90 fucking percent humidity, which I don't know why it's so humid in fucking Texas.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah, it
Gulf of
is.
Mexico is like fucking 100 miles away. Like, why is it so fucking humid there?
It's like you're
But yeah,
fucking like
dude.
swimming. Like
Yeah, dude, it
walking
was
through the
awful.
streets, you swimming.
Yeah, dude, it was fucking awful. I was like walking around. I'm like, God, I'm sweating. It's so wet. Like, I got to my hotel room, I took off my shirt, I threw it at the wall, and it was like a splat, and it slid down. I was like, this is fucking gross. I hate this whole goddamn state. Like, I was
Yeah.
pitching about it the whole time. Like,
Well,
even
the whole the
my
entire
brother was like,
Gulf
he's like, yeah, dude,
area,
fucking suck. Yeah.
the entire Gulf area is like that. Just fucking, it just gets hot and then wet.
Oh, yeah. Ugh. It was, I'm trying to remember where I went in Texas. We went down to, damn it. There was like a canal we went through. What is that? I'm trying to think of where I was. I think it was El Paso. I
Mm.
wanna say it was El Paso, but I can't remember. There's some, like, Air Force base my
Could be
went there.
San Antonio, maybe.
It was San Antonio. There we go, San
Yeah.
Antonio. It was San Antonio, and that fucking sucked. Which I couldn't believe just how awful it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I was the whole time I was there, I was like, "If it wasn't for my brother, I would never come here again." I have friends from Texas, and I'm like, "Dude, I hate to be you. Like, I'm sorry. Your life is awful. I wanna donate money to you because I feel so bad." There are probably some people from Texas listening to this, like, "Fuck you, Texas is great. Don't mess with Texas." Like, no, fuck Texas. I'm never
Shouts
gonna
out to
go there again.
Texas. If you're from Texas, send us an email at gameverse.com/podcast. Let us know how much you hate Texas.
I will admit the food was pretty good. Went to some barbecue places there.
Food is good.
Yeah,
Tex-Mex is
yeah,
all
yeah,
right.
yeah. You Texans know how to grill meat. Like, I'll give you that. Everything
Grow
else
meat.
about your state sucks. But
You know how to grow meat. Oh, you said grill meat. I thought you said grow meat, like with a plant.
oh no, grill. No, grill. You guys know how to grill meat. You guys know how to grill and prep meat.
I was
Like
like, oh yeah, I love it.
any like barbecue Tex-Mex place I went to there, like was good. Like I'm not gonna go to Texas and like eat like McDonald's. Fuck that. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat like some local places, and every restaurant was like Tex-Mex or like barbecue, which I guess
yeah.
fine. But I'm like, is that all you guys eat here? Is that a
That's pretty
sushi
much.
restaurant or something? But no, that's not bad. The food was really good. Like that's one thing. Like I'll admit. Like I liked it. If we could just get rid of everything else but keep the food, I think we can get some work there. But no, it's all jokes aside. Texas sucks. But no, that's the farthest east I've gone, dude. I don't really travel, but what about you? Must have gone all over the place. Like you're in the military for a while, so I assume you've been like a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been like, I'm from New York, Jersey.
Yeah,
I've been all down the East Coast and like and up and down. So like
yeah,
Canada, Toronto, Florida, South Carolina, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. I lived in Biloxi for a couple years. Um, Europe. Lived in Germany for a couple years, and then they
oh
have
yeah,
open borders, so like you could just like go anywhere in Europe once you're in there. So like uh, Amsterdam,
good,
Luxembourg,
good shit.
uh, Prague. Prague is probably my favorite,
Oh yeah,
like, because everything's cheap as shit. I don't know if they have yet, but they didn't convert to the euro. They were still using their like local currency, so everything was
oh
cheap
okay.
as fuck. I mean, you can go there and be a fucking king, dude. Uh, like I'm talking like beers are like 8 cents.
Oh my fuck.
Uh, like
Oh man, I gotta book a flight to Prague now.
yeah, and the city is fucking great too. Like I loved it. It like they just party fucking all night. Um,
It was the same thing. A buddy of mine like went to like Thailand, and he's the same way like as me. He's not gonna go and like eat like places he recognizes. He's gonna try everything out, go everywhere. And they're at like some carnival, and he was asking them to do like how much is it for like a beer, and the guy's like, oh, it's like I can't remember what he told them, but it was the equivalent of like $5 like US. It was like okay, that's so beer's about as much as it is like here in the States, whatever. Like a cup of beer is about the same here in the States. And the dude brings out like a 32 pack, and he's like, here you go. So like I would love to travel around some more. It's just like with everything going on right now. Like my wife and I have made plans to like check out some place. I want to go to Louisiana, but she's like, no, humid, make my hair free. I'm like,
yeah,
really? You're gonna disown an entire state because it makes your hair frizzy? I
yeah.
can't complain. I bitched out
You
about
gotta
Texas because it made me sweaty. So,
you have to bring a dictionary with you if you go to Louisiana, man.
oh yeah,
Everyone there speaks. They got that southern drawl. Not just that, but it's like a little something extra in Louisiana. You just can't understand anything
that
anyone's saying.
Creole accent. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like Creole though. I think it sounds cool, man. Maybe because like I speak Spanish, so like Creole sounds like French, but like with some stank on it. I think that's why I like it so much.
yeah,
Um, but I would love to go, dude. Like I love like the food looks good. Hannibal Buress did this whole routine about how great Louisiana is, so I'm like, I think I'm down for that.
yeah,
You could like you can walk around with like an open liquor bottle, and people don't care. Like that's cool. You can drink in public. It's not a crime there. That'd be dope. Or like I also want to go to if I can goddamn Wisconsin just because of all the breweries around there. I love me some beer, and I've had multiple
yeah.
friends from Wisconsin. They've all told me like, yeah, if you like beer, like go to Wisconsin. You can throw a rock and you'll hit a brewery and the rock will bounce off of that and hit like a restaurant you can go to.
Uh, Belgium's got really good beer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
I'm not a beer guy, but they have some good
Oh, I
shit.
am. I love me some beer. I talked to the
Uh,
wife. We never had a chance to get a honeymoon, so maybe this will be like we can go on
yeah,
like in a
yeah. When the plague is over, definitely.
I forgot the plague existed for like a minute.
All right, all
I
this
was
all this
already like,
dreaming about good
yeah, I know, I
times.
was already like making plans and like, all right, we're still in a pandemic.
Well, it might not seem like it, but this is a video game podcast. So,
Yeah.
oh, is Akira says, "Come to Texas." Are you from Texas? He didn't say shit that whole time, so you must like agree with everything he said.
No, you either agree with me or you didn't hear anything I said. uh, yeah, you agree with me, or yeah, you're from Texas. I've noticed when I've talked to other Texans, it's like they go one of two ways when I complain about. They're like, yeah, it's kind of shitty, or it's like, fuck you, don't mess with Texas. There's like no in between. Not one person be like, come on, man, it's not all that bad. Like, I know that sucked, but like we have this.
It's like,
It's either like Texas.
the
Yeah.
people I know from Florida, when you talk shit, they're like, "Yeah, man, you're right."
Is there ever anyone that's like, no, fuck you, Florida's great?
Never.
Never. It's good to know. I mean, like the worst I could say about like Arizona is like we're kind of racist, but like that's a little bit of everywhere.
Yeah.
It depends on where you go in Arizona. Like Tucson's fine for the most part. It's kind of boring here for the most part. It's important to have that self-awareness, man. It's important to recognize that maybe the place you live sucks a little bit of dick.
Just a little
lot
bit.
of Mexican restaurants, yeah. Yeah, we are a video game podcast. We have some big news here.
Yes.
CD PROJEKT RED, according to the show notes here, has been epically owned.
That's a quote, by the
guys,
way. That's a quote.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
So those of you guys who don't know, Thursday, CD PROJEKT RED did announce on Twitter they were the victim of a cyber attack. What had happened was basically a lot of internal information had been stolen from CD PROJEKT RED, and a ransom was left threatening to dump full copies of source codes for Cyberpunk and Witcher 3 and Gwent. There's an unreleased version of Witcher 3 that's on there. Some of the stuff already leaked on the web if you want to check it out, but more importantly, there's also a bunch of like legal documents, HR documents, investor documents. All kinds of shit was stolen, and they're threatening to dump all of it. I can't remember what they were asking for, but it was some ridiculous number. CD PROJEKT RED did announce that they were talking with a cyber crimes division of the FBI to get it resolved. Before we go any further, though, one thing I did see a lot on Twitter and YouTube saying that they deserved it for releasing a buggy game. And I'm sitting here like, come on, dude, like really?
Yeah,
like,
no one fucking like this is always the wrong way to go.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you should never fucking harass or abuse anyone online for any reason, especially when they put out a product that you might not enjoy. Like there's better ways to go about it, more constructive ways to go about it than
I
sending.
agree, and if I'm being honest here, what was the consequence of them releasing a buggy product? People complained, they issued refunds, their stock dropped. Like that's where it should end. Like, don't take it into your own hands to fuck with them outside of the transaction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. It's childish. That's as bad as sending death threats to actors in movies. That's fucking bullshit.
So they
so anyone that supports that, like, go fuck yourself. You're a scumbag. If you really legitimately believe like they deserved it for releasing a buggy game, go fuck.
They attached this ransom note on the when they announced this on Twitter. I'm just gonna read this verbatim here. So there's
oh god.
It says, "Hello CD Projekt. Your have been epically pwned. We have dumped full copies of the source codes from your pre-force server for Cyberpunk 2077, Witcher 3, Gwent, and the unreleased version of Witcher 3. We have also dumped all of your documents relating to accounting, administration, legal, HR, investor relations, and more. Also, we have encrypted all of your servers, but we understand that you can most likely recover from backups. If we will not come to an agreement, then your source codes will be sold or leaked online, and your documents will be sent to our contacts in gaming journalism. Your public image will go down the shitter even more, and people will see how shitty your company functions. Investors will lose trust in your company, and the stock will dive even lower. You have 48 hours to contact us. And
God, that is like the most like try hard, like edgy ransom.
um, so when I saw this, I hate to say this, but like I honestly thought this was like a prank or something. I was like, there's no way that this is real. No one fucking says epically pwned anymore.
No.
Uh, like either this is like a joke or this is a child. But no, it's very real. So they actually put up a so they were actually releasing parts of this stuff of what they got. Like they were actually like leaking parts of it as like
Yeah.
evidence so that people would know that no, it's not a joke. We actually have this stuff. Take a look. They put up an auction with a starting bid of $1 million
Hmm.
and a minimum offer of 500,000 with a buy it now option of 7 million. And they did actually sell. The auction closed yesterday. Actually, they said an offer was received outside the form that satisfied us. With the conditions of further non-distribution in this regard, they were forced to withdraw the lot from sale. Yeah. So seems like someone. I was also like, who would buy this? And also like our contact in gaming journalism, like who would like
Yeah, who's gonna publish stolen documents? Like,
who would ruin their reputation to take you to give you like a platform is the other thing.
exactly. Because not just
Um,
that, but like I'm pretty sure like publishing like stolen documentation like that is illegal. I might be wrong. I'm not a lawyer, but I think there's some like legal gray areas.
yeah. Um, yeah. So don't not totally
That's
sure what else is gonna come out of this. I guess we'll find out. There have been some like leaks. Like they did leak like a portion of the stuff they had, like some stuff involving like the Gwent source codes and there's like images going around like of that stuff. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see who like why someone would buy that shit. Um,
yeah. Like, what do you get from that? Like,
like knowing you can't do anything with it legally, um, why you would buy it. But
I want to know how they move the funds around. Like,
yeah, well, that's probably just all like cryptocurrency. I think they were asking for like zero point 0.1 Bitcoin, I think, which was like, um, I think, yeah, they were asking for Bitcoin, I think.
okay, so that's definitely a way to move it.
Yeah,
God, that's so frustrating. We'll see what comes out of it. It's such
yeah,
a shitty thing to happen, though.
yeah.
I
Deposit
can't
of zero point
appreciate
0.1
the
Bitcoin.
irony, though. I can't appreciate the irony of the developers of Cyberpunk, a game about like corporate espionage and hacking, got hacked. But
Oh yeah, no, this shit is fucking cyberpunk as fuck, man.
yeah,
Like that's
like the
that's the
irony
funny
there.
part.
Yeah, the irony there is not lost on me. It's still a shitty situation, and these guys, the guys that pulled this off, can go fuck shitty to do. We'll see what happens next with it, dude. I mean, this has not been a good year for CD Projekt Red.
Yeah, not at
This game
all.
started out so shitty with Cyberpunk, and we'll see. Hopefully, it gets better, man. Like, I mean, other games have had good comeback stories that never had all their shit stolen like that. So we'll see what happens. In other news, still just as devastating because this bums the fuck out of me. W Games did get the patent approved for their Nemesis system that you've seen in the Mordor game, Lord of the Rings, Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah,
Sure. But yeah, those of you who don't know, the Nemesis system was basically the reason to play those games. um, I'm not going to go into to too many details about how it works. That's a whole fucking other thing. But basically, they patented the system. Specifically, it covers a system that features procedurally generated NPCs that exist in a hierarchy and interact with and will remember the actions of the player, have their appearance/behavior altered by the player, and whose place in the hierarchy can change and affect the position of other NPCs in the hierarchy. Wasabi did make a note that is the simplified version of what they had patented. Um, it kind of bums me out, dude. It's a really huge bummer to me to see that happen because I feel like that just sets gaming back a little bit to patent these systems so nobody
Yeah,
else can use it.
but I was also like, I was talking to another friend of mine about this, and I was thinking like, well, okay, if they've been trying to get this done, but they it's only just now getting through. Um there was no reason why and no one could have made like a Nemesis system of their own in the time like I don't remember when Shadow of Mordor came out, but like in the time that game came out to now, there's no reason why anyone could have made their own Nemesis. Um, so I'm like, well, like, does this really like matter? Was anyone even doing this in the first place? Or and then my other question was, well, can't someone just like find a way to circumvent the terminology and just kind of side skirt the like very loose terminology in here that says this is what this system is and you can't make anything like this. Like
There
someone could just
probably is a
go,
way to do it. It all depends on how it's licensed, though. And I could see why, to answer your question, why no one's done it yet. I know WB Games has been trying to do this like since Shadow of Mordor. So it could be possible that just to avoid legal trouble, most developers just didn't even want to try it because they know like once it gets approved or if they get it pushed through, all
yeah.
that money, all that work, like, that's gone, you know?
Leo Getz says they could just license it out like Havoc or Bink. Yeah, they could license it, but that's my question is I don't know if anyone's even trying to do that, you know? Like I don't even know if anyone's trying to do what that game did. I mean, like, cause ever since that game came out, it was like, oh, everyone's gonna be copying this, man. This is the next big thing. And that's probably why they were scratching to get that patent because everyone made a big deal about it. Meanwhile, not a single fucking game came out. I think the only thing that was like close was Assassin's Creed has has a system where there's like a hierarchy and you can like take out enemies and that shit. It's not a full blown Nemesis system because like they don't fight amongst each other and try to like fuck open their own ranks to get higher. And they don't like remember you or anything like that, but it's like that's the closest thing I've seen. And maybe like Watch Dogs has you know, the whole like NPC be any NPC thing is like kind of
Yeah.
loosely something like that, but those are the only things I've seen come close to that. Like no one's even attempting to do anything like that. Uh, it's just weird to me that like I know that people just get patents just to get patents, and this just seems like another one. Like I don't know how much this is gonna affect anything. Like yeah, it's a bummer that they're doing it, and it could have an impact, but like
And I
looking,
think that's why my theory. I think that's why nobody even bothered to try it because they're so quick to announce, "Oh, we're getting patented. Where we're gonna patent it." That a lot of people were just didn't even bother. They were like, "Oh, let's not even try it if they're gonna
yeah.
patent."
But like I
Um,
remember like Namco had a patent on like load screen mini games.
yeah.
Like in their game like in Ridge Racer they had you could just play Galaga during the load screens.
Oh, I
And
remember that.
Like Tekken and shit. They so like that was like hugely cited as a reason why no one did that. But then like Splatoon came out and they had like toys in their mini games or like in the Dragon Ball Z games they had like you could like play around there and like I'm not sure how much the patent actually like covers when it comes to that stuff
Yeah.
when there's games that did it while it was active, and then now that it's not active anymore, no one still does it, even though it's like a great idea. And
Yeah.
now it's like now it's going to be like a moot point because there's not going to be like loading screens anymore pretty soon.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
yeah
we'll have to wait and see what this patent for the Nemesis system does then. If it does, like, maybe now there's actually like legal documentation, like this is what it does and doesn't cover. Maybe some people could like find ways to skirt it and get around it. Because I
yeah
think it'd be cool. Like, I think it's cool when games like steal stuff from other games and they pull it off well. Can you imagine like a Breath of the Wild clone with like, I don't know, it's like a confidant system like Persona and like the Nemesis system from Shadow of War? That'd be fucking dope.
yeah
And like a style system from Devil May Cry or something. Like, I love when games do shit like that. So it'd be really cool to see, like, now that there is legal precedent, like, hey, this is what it legally, in simple terms, this is what the patent covers. Maybe some people can creatively tweak it and get something better than what we have here.
yeah.
But we'll
So
wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
yeah, definitely interesting, but
Yeah.
I definitely it's something I definitely want motherfuckers to copy, but I'm just like, does anyone even want to? Is like my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I was hearing rumors that like the new Arkham game, not the one made by Rocksteady, not the Suicide Squad, is gonna have something similar to it.
The
But that was
fucking the one that looks like a fucking dumbass
yeah.
like game as a service.
Yeah. I'm hoping that one's gonna have something similar, but that's that
Arkham
one that was a
Knights.
rumor.
It's called Arkham Knights.
I don't think it's Arkham Knights. Damn it, do I have to Google it now? I do have to Google it.
I think it's Arkham Knights, but yeah, it was the one with like
Gotham
Bat.
Knights.
Oh,
Gotham
Gotham
Knights.
Knights. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
Gotham Knights is allegedly, I read some rumors that it's gonna have a similar system. Which I mean makes sense. Like WB owns the patent, so can definitely put that in there just to be the we'll have to wait and see, man, what the future brings with it. Honestly, I thought like this Nemesis system was gonna be like this new generation like thing. Like, there's gonna be the new like thing everyone was copying, but surprise when maybe it was because the patent like scared people away from it, or maybe it just wasn't that good a system that people wanted to copy it. um, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully, again, like there's enough like creativity there that people can find ways to skirt it.
yeah,
In quickie news, we did get an announcement that the whole Kingdom Hearts series is coming to PC. It's exclusive to Epic, and it's dropping March 30th. It's going to include all the Kingdom Hearts compilation collections we've gotten, 1.5 and 2.5. And what was that other one they did? 2.8 and 3. So if you want all the Kingdom Hearts games on PC, there's a way to play it. Honestly, I have bought these games so many times. I've at least bought all these games on their original release. I bought the HD remasters as they came out on PS3. I bought them again on PS4. So
yeah.
I have bought all of these games a lot. So
I
it's
just like
not worth
it's
it for me.
every time one of these fucking shits come out, um, my dumbass buys it at the end of a console cycle, and then fucking I don't get to play it, and then it comes out like on the next thing, and I'm like, well, fine, I'll just wait for it to come on PC, and then I get tired of waiting for it to come on PC, and then my dumbass buys it again. Uh, so fucking, of course, like I just bought the fucking collection and Kingdom Hearts 3
Yeah,
on
on PS4, I
PS3,
remember that.
PS4,
Yeah.
and now I'm like, oh fuck, man, I gotta get this shit again so I can play it, in good quality and with good frame rate.
And here's the bummer, dude. Every single one of those is still like expensive as shit. I'll be honest here, man. The HD remaster, 1.5 and 2.5, those are fine on PS4. They run at a very steady 60 FPS. They're fine. Unless you want to play them up in 4K, which honestly, they're just cleaner versions of what came out on the PS2. So even then, 4K is not going to be that big of a difference. I say those remasters, 1.5 and 2.5, those are fine on PS4. 2.8 is trickier because it has Kingdom Hearts 3D and the 2.8 prologue.
Yeah,
And the
that's not the
2.8
point.
prologue runs.
It's the principle, man. I don't want to have to like. I don't want to use this PS4 anymore, man. The whole point is that like I'm trying to like finish these games so I can like take a sledgehammer to it and just fucking be done with my PS4. So like I was like, man, I'm trying to wipe clean the backlog that I have on PS4. So I'm like, well, fuck it, time to get these Kingdom Hearts games now because I'm never gonna be able to finish them if I get rid of this PS4. And then so I buy them, spend fucking $100 on this goddamn fucking collection. No, actually it was on sale when I got it at a pretty deep discount. I told everyone about it, and it was like $30 for the whole thing. And I was like, yeah, man, fucking time to dive into this fucking Kingdom Hearts shit. And then now fucking, what, like, not like 2 months, it was like 2 months ago or like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Didn't even get to play any. I played Kingdom Hearts 1, I finished that, and that was it. And I started Kingdom Hearts 3. And then I was like, no, I can't just jump into Kingdom Hearts 3 because they expect you to play, even though it has a 3 on it, they want you to play 2.8 and 7.1. So I'm like, okay, well, goddamn it, I got to play every single one. So
the official order is, if you want to count the movies, it's Kingdom Hearts. God damn it! It's that prologue movie, which is itself runs concurrent to the mobile game that nobody played.
great.
And then there's Birth by Sleep 1. 358 over 2 days that came out in the 1, then Chain of Memories, which came out in the Game Boy Advance. 358 over 2 days, which came out on the DS. Then 2, then like Recoded, then like 3D, then it's 3. And I think Melody of Memory is like the fucking the rhythm game is like a canon sequel to 3. So, fucking have fun with that.
Cause yeah, I finished 1, and then I started, and then I went straight into Chain of Memories, and I was like, oh fuck, this is a card game. Fuck this.
Yeah.
'Cause I hate card games. Yeah. So, and that's when I stopped, and I was like, no, I'm just gonna play 3, and then I'm seeing all sorts of characters that I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Yep. The Kingdom Hearts story is fucking confusing, dude. I've been playing these games for like years. I've managed to play every single one of the games except for Recoded and the mobile game. But like the movie that came out, the 2.8 collection, kind of explains the game. But even then, like there was some shit in 3 and I'm like, who the fuck are you? And they're like, oh, I'm some like obscure character that was in the cell phone game you didn't play. And I was like, well, fuck you. But no, the Kingdom Hearts story is fucking dumb and confusing. But god damn it, I need to know how it ends. I've been playing these games since I was like 10, dude. I gotta know how it ends.
It's like The Walking Dead for me. It's like I hate this show, but like I'm watching it just because I've invested this much time into it. I
gotta see how it ends. Even at the beginning, you gotta see how it ends. If you want to pick it up, the entire collection, if you want to buy, because they're all released in separate collections. There's 1.5 and 2.5, which is $60. There's 2.8, which is $60. There's 3, which features Remind, the expansion. That's also $60. And then there's Melody of Memory, the mobile spinoff. Guess what? Also $60. So if you want the entire Kingdom Hearts package, you're looking at $240.
It's crazy, man.
It is fucking insane. But it's like more than what? Like, when did the first Kingdom Hearts come out? Like 2001? Hold on, I gotta Google this.
No, it was like 2004, 5?
2002. March 28, 2002, dude.
Jeez.
And that's when it released in Japan. It released in the US. Hold on.
Oh, all of these games are $60.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
they all released. They all no, they all it released internationally March 20th, 2000. God damn. 2002, dude, that is like 15. No, more than that. Oh god, I'm old as shit. Oh my god. I am way older than I thought I was. Oh god, 19 years. Kingdom Hearts is almost 20 years old. I played the first Kingdom Hearts when I was like 8. Oh my god, I feel old as shit, dude. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
bummed out now. I'm bummed out now. I am like
Yeah,
sad. I'm
dude,
really,
we were
really
like
sad.
fucking we were children when it came out, and that's when it was appealing. I was like, "Oh, look at Mickey is here and Simba and
You
oh
know,
shit, it's
it's funny you say that because like my dad, I think I told you my dad was a huge gamer growing up. So I recognize like the Final Fantasy characters just as much as the Disney.
yeah, cuz like Final Fantasy 8 was the first game that was the first Final Fantasy game I played. So when you see Squall, I was like, "Oh shit, Squall."
Yeah.
And Goofy, and I'm like, "Oh shit, this is fucking insane." I'm 12 years old. uh so
Yeah, and
but
now it's like dumb and kind of weird, but
yeah. But let's coming to PC, so it's great for people who've never played it and just
yeah.
wanted to jump in with
Yeah.
it. Um,
And
March 30th.
honestly, I might rebuy 3 because 3 still, even on my PS4 Pro, like it's not the performance I want. It's not a full steady 60 FPS,
Yeah,
which is a huge bummer. And that's kind of what turned me off of it. Like I just played through the game once, I beat it. I bought the DLC so I can replay it. And I'm like, dude, I want to throw up. It's like the frame rate's so inconsistent. So I might rebuy it on PC just so I have like the best version of it possible to play through 3 again. But honestly, like 3 itself, I just played it. Things ended. And even
yeah.
then, the fucking ending was kind of vague. It opens up another sequel. So I'm like, oh, this shit's still going to keep going. Okay.
I like I like the worlds in that game. Yeah, I've been playing a little bit of it. I don't think I talked about it much, but like I don't know what the fuck is going on in the story as a whole. But those games have always been good at like the isolated, like when you jump in a world, those stories, those isolated stories are pretty good.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. And it looks cool, but the big reason I got into it is like I want to see how this shit ends. So I sit through
yeah,
like basically what's the equivalent of like a season of filler episodes with maybe like 20 minutes of actual plot development in between it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The stories for each world's kind of self-contained, which is fine, but I have to complete like a whole set of worlds, and it's like, oh, now the plot goes forward, and then it does it again. Like it wasn't like intertwined with it. It wasn't like moving up satisfying. At least to me it was, but we'll see. Um, hopefully, there are more games coming out, so maybe Nomura can figure out how to write a fucking story once we go forward. But I will see what happens. But yeah, there you go. If you're on PC, you never play Kingdom Hearts for some reason, and for some reason, 20 years later, you want to get into it now. There you go. There's a way to do it. Um, in other news, we got NVIDIA's DLSS released a new Unreal Engine Marketplace plugin. What is this plugin? What does this do?
It's basically DLSS that anyone can use. Like so, DLSS is their upscaling AI driven upscaling technology, so that instead of playing at 4K, because you might not have the horsepower to play at like native 4K, what it does is it downscales it to like 1080p. So you're actually playing at 1080p, and then it's AI upscaled to 4K,
Mhm.
so that the benefit there is like you get much better performance, and like visually it looks almost identical. You can still tell it like has issues with like some shimmering sometimes, and um like it doesn't look perfect, but it looks like close enough to where it's like you don't care. I mean, if you're playing at 4K, the trade-off is like I'd rather take performance over like the perfect image quality.
Yeah.
um so previously, like Nvidia had to like personally like approve every game that wanted to use it, and that's why like mini games just didn't have the feature in it. Now anyone who's building their game in Unreal Engine can just download this plugin and implement it without anything. They just throw it in their game and they'll be good to go. And that's huge for like the adoption of, every time a new like tech comes out, the problem is that, well, the games have to be made that to utilize that tech.
Yeah.
That's why, not everyone's using like ray tracing and not everyone's using DLSS, because like not everyone has a card that can use it, and then not everyone is using an NVIDIA card. So, sometimes these things just get like ignored. So like it's super cool that if I'm making a game today, I can just boom, just get that plugin and then boom, have just DLSS just in there. I think like from the other side, like Radeon has their graphics cards coming, and like well, I think they were gonna like announce like a competitor to DLSS, because Radeon doesn't have anything for DLSS. They have like kind of rudimentary ray tracing support, but not really, because the Radeon cards don't have, Nvidia's cards have like specific hardware made to do what it's doing. Like they have tensor cores and ray trace and RT cores that are just there specifically to do ray tracing and DLSS and all this shit. They're specifically made to do that, and the Radeon cards don't have that, so they're bad at ray tracing. And I'm assuming when they have like an answer for DLSS, it'll be bad at that too. So, and that's why I'm still going to Nvidia, even though I'm going like with like AMD CPU
Yeah.
these days,
Well, that's
because
cool.
yeah. Now, what I would like to see them do as well is also implement this for Unity,
Oh, I didn't think of
because
that. Yeah.
that would be really cool to have ray tracing and DLSS in Unity, because Unity's become like a real big competition for Unreal. Like
It really has to.
they were kind of like the laughing stock, because like so many shitty games get made in Unity, but like Ori's built in Unity.
Yeah.
Uh, like there's really good games that get built in Unity, and you don't even know
Mhm.
it. So I would love if Nvidia supported that as well. But yeah, this is just cool stuff. Just more games getting made using some good tech. So
Well, it's great to see, man. I love new tech in gaming. So hopefully this gets utilized by more people.
yeah,
Um, in other news of like games coming back from the dead, Tales from the Borderlands is getting released on February 7th or 17th on all major storefronts.
yes,
That's crazy because those of you who don't remember, Tales from the Borderlands was a like was the fucking developer that did that name?
Telltale.
Yeah, a Telltale joint there, and similar like the Walking Dead game, Wolf Among Us. The problem is, one, it's a licensed game. It's Borderlands license, and two, Telltale kind of bit the bullet there. So
Yeah,
a lot of their old stuff was pulled from shelves. A couple of them got saved though. I think Walking Dead got a remaster. Um, Walking Dead got a remaster.
the
Wolf Among Us got
Wolf of Wall
re-released.
Street.
Yeah, got re-released with a promised sequel on the way, and now Tales from the Borderlands dropping on storefront. So that's really cool.
Yeah, which
I've only
fuck.
played the first episode, which was great. But I never played anything after that. But
Oh my
everyone
god,
tells me
it's
best Telltale.
Tales from Borderlands is, if you only play one Telltale game for your entire life, it has to be this one. I
I
mean,
don't
The
know,
Walking
man.
Dead
Wolf
too.
Among Us is really good, and so
No,
was
dude. No,
and so was
dude.
Walking
No.
Dead. No,
I mean,
nah. All right.
Walking Dead. I'll give it to Walking Dead just because of what they did at the time. Like they revolutionized the game on that. But like, if this was first, no one would be talking about that fucking game. Like seriously, this is this is the best one. It has the best opening to any fucking game ever. On episode, actually, it's the clip that they're showing here. I think it's on the beginning of episode 4, is the best opening to any game ever. I will stand by that. I will stand by that.
I've only played episode 4 and I liked it. I never played anything past or episode 1 and I liked it. Never played anything past. So I might give it a chance.
It is the best.
Now
It
that it's
does
off.
everything. It does everything it does. It does do with such expertise, man. Like the storytelling, the characters, like the comedy, the like the emotion, the feeling. Like there's genuine. Like you laugh, dude. You cry. It hits every fucking emotion across like it's 5 episodes. It's just so entertaining and good, man. It was crazy to me that like the Wolf of Wall Street got a sequel and not this. Because this is the best Borderland game. It's the best Telltale game. It is the best one, man. So I'm so excited that people
You
can
had me
like,
on the humor because like I'm not. I love Borderlands, but the humor is something that kind of hit and miss with me.
yeah. There's no Birch involved in this game, so
I don't want to
uh,
believe that he's the one responsible for like all the shitty dialogue, but I need someone to blame, so there it is.
yeah.
But
I
no,
remember
I'll
when
check it
I
out. It's coming back February 17th, so like what, 5 more days? No, 4 more days.
yeah.
So there you go, guys. Go pick it up. It's set between Borderlands 2 and 3, so if you're one of those weirdos that plays Borderlands for the story, there you go.
Well, nobody plays Borderlands for the story, and that's the thing. This has really it's set between those two games, but you don't need to know anything about Border. You don't have to have ever played a Borderlands game to enjoy this. Like, there's only like I don't think there's any character. Okay, there's a couple characters that do like there's like in jokes that if you did play Borderlands you'll get, but like you can enjoy this without knowing anything about Borderlands. Like it's just
Good.
this is the one story that you should care about because it's that good. And like everyone's in it. Troy Baker's in it. Nolan North is in it. What's her face? The girl that does the voices, Abby, is in it. And Abby and Ellie are in it. I'm forgetting her name. Ashley Johnson,
Yeah.
which she's great in it. Like, there's just so many fucking voices in this game, man. That's like the cast is just great.
I'll check it out for sure then. I'll for sure check it out.
Yeah,
I played the first episode. I don't remember what happened in it. I remember liking it, so this will give me a chance to like replay it, see what I think, and get into it a little bit more. Um, we also got an announcement: Axiom Verge 2 is coming to the Epic Game Store. I mean, Axiom Verge came out forever ago. It's a really popular Metroidvania style game that actually very much heavily leans on the Metroid part of Metroidvania, which
yeah.
I never see. It's always like the Vania part that people lean more on. So it's cool to
It's
see that.
yeah. It's more of a Metroid game than Vania. I mean, you
I,
could say that about any Metroidvania. If you say Metroidvania, it's just say Metroid. I mean, that's basically what they are.
yeah. Um, it
There's
looks. There's no gameplay has been released yet. Nothing's been announced for it yet, but that it's coming. I tried to play the first Axiom Verge when it was free on the Epic Store ever ago, and it would not run on my computer. I don't know what was going on. It wasn't working. It wasn't recognizing keystrokes or
shit.
my controller. I don't know what was going on. I think something was wrong with the download. I might have to re-download it. We'll see what happens. But I want to try it because it looks good. I think I might
It's a
like it.
great game.
Yeah.
What I like about this post is that he's pretty much saying, yeah, look, the second game's coming to the Epic Game Store. Um, and there's really no news about the game, but what I like about this post is that he kind of goes into it's a really like heartfelt post actually, where
Yeah.
he's like, hey, look, man, I was working on this game by myself for like 10 years, and when I released it, I had no idea that I was hoping to like buy a new car or at the very least like an upgrade my PC a little bit, but I had no idea that it would blow up the way it did. So it's just a very like humble post from the guy, and I really like that. And then he kind of goes into the reasons why He likes Epic, what Epic's doing, but also like he says it will come to Steam and consoles and Switch and everything. So it's a really good post. Here I'll link it in the chat here so you guys can find
Yeah,
it.
I was reading through it, and it was really cool. Him explaining like this is the reality of the situation. Like Epic is paying the bills. He has a wife and kid he's got to take care of. Like, and this is the best deal for him to get his game out without like killing himself. And I envy that. And this is why like I have such a weird opinion on like the Epic Game Store model because yeah, it's kind of scummy to lock it behind their storefront. But at the same time, you have devs like this who like the only way I can get this game out without like driving myself crazy or like working like 80-hour work weeks and a second job at the same time to support myself and my family is through these deals that Epic is. So
Yeah,
I get where he's coming from, and I hope the game comes out and does well. I really do. Like the first Axiom Verge had a lot of positive attention to it. I liked what the game was about, even though I never got a chance to try it. I'm gonna try to give it another shot the next couple days if I can get it to run. If not, I might just buy it on Switch or something. Um, but I really do hope that this game comes out and this guy stays, happy, healthy, and can work on the games he wants to work on. I really do.
yeah.
Um, so we'll see what happens. There's no like word yet about release dates or even trailers yet. Um, but I am excited to see this come out, see what he improves on the first game. The first game, again, it was really popular. And I liked what I was seeing. You liked what you were playing. I want to see what he improves on with that. In other news, we have a Steam Lunar Sale is now active. So those of you guys who haven't checked it out yet, the Steam Lunar Sale is up now. For all kinds of games, man, just check your wish list. Chances are there's something on your wish list that's in the single digits now, the way things are going on. Nothing really shouts out to me. I mean, if you haven't played Death Stranding yet, that's $36. Or
DJ
Hades is
Max,
20 bucks right now. Oh yeah,
DJ
DJ
Max
Max,
respect.
$18 right now. Yeah.
DJ, if you like rhythm games, DJ Max respect is like is very cheap right now. I think it's probably like an all time low. One of my favorite games of all time. I don't shut up about it. So if you like rhythm games, it's one of the best ones you can play. Yeah, I'll go ahead and
But
link
yeah, there
that
you
in the
go.
chat.
Well, there you go. Check out DJ Max. In other news, fuck, notes go. Where are my show notes? There they are. We got some trailers coming out. The Unreal Engine MetaHuman Creator trailer just dropped. If I
Yeah,
remember correctly, this is like an AI-driven character creator, right?
yeah. Basically, just like scans humans and then puts them in the game like pretty fucking seamlessly.
So this would be great, for you like independent developers or animators. It's a pretty neat system.
Yeah, it reminds me of some of the stuff that if you remember, like Quantic Dream, like before Heavy Rain came out, or like before any of their games come out, they always do like a tech demo trailer.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that. It reminds me of like some Quantic Dream shit. Like, oh, this looks good, but what's the actual game gonna look like? Um, well, now we actually have like this looks good, and I can't wait for this to be in a game. Like, this is like the real shit.
Dude, it is. I remember when I saw the Quantic Dream stuff, not just their Kara. I think Kara was that their first one? Not their first one,
No,
the one they
they did one before Heavy Rain that like it was just a chick talking in her kitchen,
Yes,
and
I remember that.
like
She
that
was like
shit
the
was like
mom in Heavy Rain.
it was
Yeah.
like super old, but like it was like you can still go back and look at that and go like, man, that looks like damn good though. But
I remember their
like
2006 casting demo.
yeah,
Yeah, it's still pretty impressive. Like even now, like all these years later. And then they did their Kara demo back in like what 2011, 2012. Like
Yeah.
that, like blew my mind when I saw that. Like the
I think
emotion in their
they did
face.
one before. They might have done one before that as well. Like I think they might have 3 of them, maybe. But
I know it was this one. They did the sorcerer one when they announced it before.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, yeah,
But no, it looks really cool, man, and it's crazy to see that the most recent one, because Quantic Dreams is like the standard most people hold to like character models,
uh
character models, and well, they're a
maybe
big name
not
in the
these
industry.
days.
Not these days, but at the
I
time.
would say
And
Naughty
their
Dog
most
now, but
Naughty Dog now, yeah. But going back and watching the most recent one, the Dark Sorcerer trailer, and then seeing this meta human trailer, it's insane, like progress we've made. And this is like
yeah,
an open, like this is an open engine, like any indie dev can drop the money and get
yeah.
games that
You can
they ship
download
with.
this. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
download it now, but like when they release the new engine, you can just download it. Like I think they're working with I think it's like based on license or royalties. I think like if you release a thing and it sells a certain amount, then you pay royalties on it. But like it's like it's great stuff. Which I think they're doing that to combat Unity. But yeah, I can't like this. This is what I want out of the next gen. This is why I didn't buy a PS5 today because this ain't on there yet.
Yeah.
But also like it's coming. Like this will be on PC as well. So like, um, this is what I want though. Not fucking a port of a PS4 game that like I can already play or a port of a PS3 game. Like this is what the fuck I'm waiting for. So this is what really excites me. So when this stuff comes out, then I'll be like super excited, man, because this is just these are the game changers.
Yeah. This is next level, dude. And I'm excited to see that. They're so detailed. I love it. I can't wait to see what happens with this. Um, it's so detailed, like just all the stuff you can do with it and how great it looks. We'll have to wait and see what happens with it, but I'm excited. I'm just excited as you are, man. This looks cool
Yeah,
as fuck. Um, in other news, we got another trailer for Black Myth Wukong, which we talked about a little bit last year.
yeah,
We were both pretty into it, dude. Like, this is making the rounds on Twitter and Facebook. Just came out of nowhere, and people were talking about it. And after watching the trailer, I can see why. Um, it's got a Dark Souls like gameplay style to it, with a little bit more focus on action and reaction. I think we mentioned I saw some parries and I saw some dodge cancels in the original gameplay trailer they showed off. It looks cool. That's all I can say, man. It looks cool. Graphically speaking, it's really pretty. Um, yeah, and this trailer just shows it's just more of that. I mean,
yeah.
it's just more reason to be into this game, dude. Like, I am
This is like shit.
I am so much into this. God, I can just watch this forever.
Yeah, I'm super curious as to like where these guys came from because again it came out of fucking nowhere, dude. So I think that's why it blew up because like it was so unexpected out of nowhere and then like it just looks so good.
Yeah. And not just graphically, but like gameplay wise, like it looks like a fun game.
Yeah. It looks like a
Like, I'm not
PS2
super
game, but
into.
like it looks like
Yeah.
it has like this is gonna be hard to explain what I mean by this, but like remember how fun PS2 games were? Like they were just about fun, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what this looks like, where it's just like, oh, that's a game ass video game right there. Like there's
Yeah.
no
Like this, Biomutant are the two games I'm excited for because they look like they're just trying to be fun video games.
yeah, yeah.
And that's what I'm into, man. I prioritize fun over anything else. And this game looks like it's hitting all those marks, man. It looks fun. Graphically, it's really impressive. Um, My only complaint, I'm not a big Souls-like fan, but I feel like the gameplay is like aggressive enough that I can get in.
Yeah, well, I like games that let you get up in that ass, so
Yeah,
this looks like one of those.
man, I'm into it. I can't wait to see that come out. We also got a trailer for. I was never expecting to see this happen. We got a new announcement trailer for 6 Days in Fallujah. Those of you who don't know, it was a canceled tactical military shooter back from like, God, 2008, 2009. I want to say it got announced like right when the Call of Duty like boom started.
Yeah,
Um, this, those of you who don't know, especially those outside of the U.S., because it's kind of a, even though it takes place in Fallujah, it's a U.S. story. It's announcing the Battle of Fallujah that was back in 2002. I want to say, I can't remember. It was a pretty big deal. I can only explain it as like basically a mini Vietnam in the city of Fallujah. Is the best way I can describe it. I mean,
yeah,
even that's not doing justice. A lot of people either died or were seriously injured. And at the end of the day, I don't think we could even take Fallujah at the end of the day, at the pull out.
yeah,
Um, it's a very important and emotional story in American history, I would say, recent American history. And when the game got announced, a lot of people were shitting on it, saying how it's disrespectful, how you can't gamify something so serious. And I can kind of see where they were coming from because that game got announced like back in 2008, 2009. When we hadn't seen video games like, like anything Quantic Dreams had put out, touching serious subject matter, or
yeah.
even what's that other game, that other military shooter, that third
Oh,
um
I know what you're talking about. Shit.
yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but even then, like games were never taken seriously. They're always taken as like like a thing for children. So,
Yeah. Spec
like
Ops: The
when,
Line. There it is.
yeah, yeah,
Before we got games like Spec Ops: The Line or anything like Quantic Dreams has put out, touching serious subject matter. So I could see where people were coming from. Because at the time the game came out, games weren't in the same place to tell these like mature stories. People who hear like, oh, they're making a video game based on Fallujah, they probably imagine video games like Super Mario or like Contra or something, which kind of shitty to dismiss an entire art form for that. So it's like, oh, you can't draw a painting of like the World Trade Center. That's just silly.
yeah,
But I can see where people are coming from because in their mind, video games were a children's toy. It'd be like making a Lego playset. Probably the better description. Um, but now we're in a place where games, graphically speaking, can like present more emotion and a more cinematic style to it. And the fact that it puts you in control of these players, you can kind of feel some of the hopelessness of what these real soldiers had to go through. I think now is a great time to revisit that project. I think they're doing a great job like revisiting it now. And those of you who don't know, the game did originally, when it was first announced, did have a lot of backing from actual war veterans who fought in Fallujah and basically telling their side of the story and trying to make it as accurate as possible. It looks like that's still the case on this new announcement. But I'm not seeing anyone bitching about it, so I guess we're in a better place now than we were like 10 years.
yeah. I just remember that like that one Vietnam game that came out. I forget what it was called, like Viet Cong or Viet Nam something.
I
And
know what you're
like
talking about. Yeah.
that one came out, people were fucking. I mean, that it was a terrible game, but also like just people just couldn't like they just didn't want to deal with the fact that people were telling those kind of stories. I mean, it was a bad game, but like I don't think that's what they were upset about. um,
Yeah.
because it was brutal. Like they didn't really shy away from like the brutality of it, and that's the thing that like encompasses these this subject matter, these these stories, these locations. So yeah, I'm interested in seeing where this goes, how they do it.
Yeah, man. Same here. And it's good to see that it's not all like gonna get lost because I remember when it first got announced, A lot of like actual veterans like step forward and help them like tell the story. And my mistake, I wanted to fact check it. The assault on Fallujah was 2004, not 2002. But I can't just be expected to memorize all history. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
but it was 2004, and I think the game actually got announced like in 2008, 2006. So it was pretty recently when after the Battle of Fallujah happened. Um, so it is cool to see that all these guys who, I'm sure it wasn't easy coming up and talking about this awful time in your military career, where you saw people die, friends die. I'm sure that wasn't easy to come out and talk about that and then just have a bunch of people who don't know what they're talking about completely shut the project. So it's cool to see that kind of come back. Hopefully, I hope people who, kind of open themselves up to tell this important story, find some closure from the project actually coming to. Um, but it's cool to see. I never thought this would happen. If I'm being honest, I never ever thought this would happen. And Wasabi, I got to ask you, man, how does it feel knowing that 6 days of Fallujah is happening? We still haven't heard anything about Beyond Good and Evil.
it's a bummer, man. I tell myself every day, it's like, no, they'll come around, they'll come back. It's all right. They're just fine tuning things. It'll be. They're just waiting for the right time. But I don't know anymore.
Yeah. Jokes aside, I am going to be checking this out. I'm going to be following this pretty closely when it happens. If anything, this again just serves as like a testament to how far we've come in gaming. That it's a more socially acceptable medium. That the story that we couldn't tell years ago is okay to tell now. Um, we also got a trailer for the new Ratchet and Clank game,
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. We got a
Oh,
pre-order trailer
also,
for
but
PS5.
I didn't read
Oh,
this before, but
yeah.
that game's in development by former Halo and Destiny guys.
Oh,
Um, so
okay, that's
like,
cool to know. I couldn't remember. I think EA was developing it recently. I don't know if like that, or if I might be making that up.
yeah, yeah. I was wondering who was making it, and but it doesn't really say here. But just some ex shooter guys, so it'll be they'll have that down.
Oh, so my mistake. The game was originally slated to release in 2010. So I think it was like 2008, 2009. Yes, I was right. Never mind. I was right. The developers were Atomic Games originally working on it,
Uh,
who made the Close Combat series and another game called Breach I never heard of. But yeah. We'll have to wait and see when it comes out, man. I am excited to see it happening. And again, it's the testament to how far we've come. Like gaming was it's good to see gaming taken seriously as an actual like artistic medium.
yeah.
Um yeah, so Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, we got a pre-order trailer coming out on PS5. The game looks dope. It looks really cool. My only concern is like what about this is PlayStation 5 exclusive? You know what I
Um,
mean?
the Rift stuff is like this is the one game that I've seen thus far on PS5 that's like, yeah, I can see why that's exclusive. Like the Rift stuff and like the loading times between those transitions are like incredible. But like that's it to me. And it's just
Okay,
like
so I didn't think about that.
there's a lot of debris and projectiles and like particles that are flying around too. If you look in the distance, like everything's animated, even like way out in the distance. Um,
Okay, I'm watching a gameplay video right now, and it looks really cool. Um,
yeah,
I'm excited to see this happen. I never played other Ratchet and Clank games. I played the reboot that came out on PS4 a couple years ago.
yeah,
The tie-in with the movie. That was really good. I like that a lot. And I've actually had people tell me who are huge Ratchet and Clank fans who are like, "Oh, that's not even the best Ratchet and Clank game. That's like okay by Ratchet and Clank standards." And I thought it
yeah,
was fucking excellent. I played through that game like twice, like back to back.
yeah. I did
Um,
too.
yeah, it's a good game. So this might be the game that gets you to buy a PS5, if I'm being honest.
Oh, gross. I would,
It's
but I can't buy a thing for one game anymore. I did that with Metal Gear. I can't do it again.
I here's the thing though. I know like I'm gonna play other games on it. I just need that killer app that's like, okay, that's the reason to go out and buy it.
Yeah,
And plus, I can sell my PS4 Pro and like use that to help me buy it because the PS5 is going to be able to play all my PS4 games, so it's not a total loss. I'll have to wait and see though.
yeah.
I am
Ratchet and
seeing the
Clank.
Rift stuff, and it does look really cool. Like that's crazy how that works. Um, it
Yeah,
looks cool.
there's like a tiny load screen in the purple area between them, but it's like so tiny that it's like still impressive.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I can't wait to play it. Maybe once PS5s are readily available, and I don't have to worry about paying double price from a scalper.
Yeah,
I might check it out. We'll have to wait and see. It looks good, and I hope it's if it's an improvement over what I played before with the PS4 game. I'll be happy, dude. We also got a gameplay video for the new Near Replicant remake coming out. The Baron Temple, which is a pretty pivotal part in the Near story, if I remember correctly. I'm excited to see this happening because Near's like one of those diamond in the rough style games that everyone tells me I should play. I played Near Automata, but not the original because it looks so clunky. And it is cool to see that this remake is taking some ideas from Automata, incorporating that in play so it actually looks like it'll be a fun play. This is
yeah,
definitely a game I want to check out, dude.
yeah. This is also the one that only came out in Japan, so this is the
Yeah.
first. Which I think essentially they're both kind of the same game. Just you play the brother of the other character, like they're
Yeah.
brothers, and you play the other
So
one. So
yeah, so they're both the same game. The difference is that Near Replicant, you're the little girl's older brother, and characters kind of treat you differently. And with Near Gestalt, which is the one that we got here in the States, you're her dad. And people treat
yeah,
you too. There's actually a lot of expanded universe stuff like audiobooks and like stage plays that like expand on that story. And it gets fucking dark. Like there's some dark shit in those stories that I had no idea actually happened. Um I've never played the game. Like I know all the stuff about like Near lore, but I've never played Near Replicant or Gestalt. So this will
yeah,
be cool for me to try out. Like I want to check this out. The combat looks like it's actually kind of fun now. There's actually some thought put into it. It doesn't look as good as like what Automata put out, but it looks like
yeah. Actually, after I played Automata, I went back to like the Drakengard games because there's some like lineage in those as well.
yeah.
Um,
And those play like shit, dude.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, like
It's like a stiffer, worse Dynasty Warriors.
the first game is the only I think they got there by like Drakengard 3, but like the first game was like incredibly like weird.
Yeah.
The soundtrack is one of the most unique soundtracks I've ever heard in a video game before. Um, it's like imagine Shadow of the Colossus soundtrack, but what if it was like repetitive? Like, what if you only had two bars of like the combat music and it just repeated over and over, and then there were like stabs, like violent stabs all over the place. Like that's what that music is like super jarring and weird, but at the same time, it's like they're bangers. I don't know how to explain it. Just look up the Drakengard 1 soundtrack and you'll see what I mean. Um, but yeah, so like I'm interested in like the lore of this game in a way that I don't usually get with games. So um, I do want to like go back and play all these just to see how it all connects because it's super interesting.
Yeah, I do too. It's just that the problem is the games are so hard to get a hold of now,
Yeah,
and graphically and gameplay wise, they don't play the best. Hopefully, if Near Replicant does well, they might go back and do some of those. We'll have to
Yeah.
wait and see if it does happen. We also got a trailer for a new game called Breath Edge. It looks like I know nothing about this game until watching the trailer. But Breath
Yeah.
Edge looks like
It's like
a space survival game. It kind of reminds me of Prey, but with more survival.
Yeah.
Which I love me some fucking Prey. I've talked about Prey quite a bit on this podcast. It's one of my Prey better than BioShock. I'm throwing that out there. If you like BioShock,
Wow.
you will like Prey. Prey does the same thing BioShock does, but better. That is an argument.
Well,
I
Prey
don't
wasn't
care.
that supposed to be like? Wasn't that originally like planned as a System Shock 2?
It was planned as a System Shock 3 actually, and then
3? Yeah.
I think the issue was like Bethesda was about to lose their Prey license. So like, hey, call it Prey, and they're like, okay, we're not going to make it anything like Prey. They're like, I don't care, just use the name. And they're like, okay then.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks like the Breath Edge looks like Subnautica but in space, kind of.
That's
That's
a
how
much better description. Subnautica in space.
yeah.
It looks cool. I'm definitely interested in it. That is dropping February 25th on the Epic Game Store and on other platforms. So I'll probably check it out. It looks
Yeah.
cool. We also got a trailer for a new Dying Light expansion, Viking
Yeah.
Raiders of Haran. Where the fuck did this come from? And two questions. Where did this come from? And two, why don't I care? It looks dope as shit. To give you guys an idea, Dying Light came out like what, 2015? Like 6 years ago? Like Dying Light came out forever ago and it's still getting content.
Yeah. I mean, they put out that other one
The Hell
that
Raid
like
expansion, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I still haven't played that, and I really want to because like Hellraid was like their game that they were working on uh before Dying Light or something like that, right? And then they scrapped it.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
like more like a
the official
fantasy
was they put it on
RPG.
hold. Yeah, they put it on hold was the official story. And then they just incorporated it into Dying Light, which I think is fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's such a cool thing to do, man. And now they have this weird like Viking thing going on. It's honestly, it's probably like assets from their Hell Raid stuff, but I don't care because it looks cool as shit.
Yeah.
If you haven't played Dying Light yet, seriously, go ahead and do it. Dying Light is so much fun. I've beaten the main campaign on PS4. I haven't played the expansion yet, the following, but I own it on Steam. I just bought it a couple weeks ago, and I'm
The
playing through
last
the.
time I loaded that game up, and I don't remember. I think I was playing with Ruben in the chat. I think, and there was an event going on. There was a global event in the game that was going on that like made the melee attacks like 20 times stronger. So like
Oh
every time
yeah,
you punch something, it would just fucking explode in one hit. And I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like I couldn't like I was like I had no idea what was happening because I just kept melee attacking everything and it was just fucking exploding. I was like, "Dude, I'm One Punch Man." Just everything was just fucking getting
there's
demolished.
just when I played the game had already been out for like a year, 2 years. When I was playing it on PS4, and I guess during April Fool's Day they were having like a fun little event where like the drop kick like fucking launched zombies into space.
Yeah, they still had
I
that. That
didn't
was still
I didn't know about that, so I unlocked the drop kick, and I went to drop kick a zombie, and they like fucking flew, and I was like, holy shit, this
yeah.
game's amazing.
I think maybe they just did that and just left it in there because it was still doing that when I played.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, this
Dying Light's come a long way, man. It's so cool that the game's like, I think it's so cool that the game came out. It was reviewed very well, and they're just gonna keep supporting it. Like that's so cool to me to see.
yeah.
And it's a fun game. You can get it for like $20 right now. The game and the following. It won't. You can get the deluxe edition for I think like $20. It doesn't come with Hell Raid or the Viking expansion, but honestly, for $20, I think it's worth it. Like that's another thing that's on sale right now. Go check it out. And they do have a Lunar New Year event going on. So I can't wait for the sequel. I know they announced that forever ago. We haven't fucking heard shit about it since.
Yep.
What is up with these types of games, like these sequels, like just not coming out? Like Dying Light 2, Dead Island 2. What's going on with those?
Well, I think Techland uh, was like, because they make these games, but they're not like, they don't really set the world on fire. You know, like they're good games in their own right, but they're not like blowout fucking hits.
Which is a bummer
Um,
because it should be. Fucking Dying Light's great.
yeah, I think didn't Techland? No, that was someone else. But yeah, Techland's not like a huge name, so yeah, I'm surprised they
um,
even like have the time to or resources to keep putting out more content. So it's great.
yeah, the game's good. Go check it out. It's on sale. And while you're out, if you like it, buy the expansion. We got a trailer for Chivalry 2. Wasn't Chivalry that game that had like the racist fans for a while who like
Um,
freaked out when there were black people in the game? Wasn't
uh,
that a thing?
that might have been that. I mean, that could be anything. No, I think that might have been oh fuck, what was that game called? That like that Witcher. It's not. It wasn't a Witcher game, but it was fuck. What was that like? That middle that oh god, I was gonna say Middle Eastern. It was like an Eastern European set game where it had chivalry. Kingdom Come. There we go. Leo gets. Fucking I stumbled over.
Was it Kingdom Come? I thought Kingdom Come was like the RPG.
I still yeah, but there's no black people in the game, so people were mad at it.
No, there was another issue where like I think Chivalry came out. I think it was Chivalry. Like a game came out and a game it was like an Eastern European like setting, and people were like, "Hey, where's all the black people?" And there was like, "Oh, we didn't think about that. Let's put black people in the game." And then a bunch of fans got pissed off, like, "What the fuck? Why are you putting black people in my white game?" I
I don't
know that was
know.
like a thing that happened. Hold on.
That could have been chivalry, but I know Kingdom Come for sure. It was like people were upset that there weren't black people, but
I know there was like a huge thing where like,
or Mordhau. Leo Getz says Mordhau.
oh, it might have been Mordhau. Hold on.
Yeah, all these games kind of just run in the same vein to me.
It's
um,
just well, what's funny is that a lot of it's like it's a game, so why do you care? You know, they want to put some inclusion in there and put like women and people of color. Like, why are you going to get like upset when they do it? It's a video game.
yeah,
I remember there was like a bunch of like threads on like Reddit, like really like racist threads that come off super racist. And at the end of it, they're always like, "I'm not racist. I just want historical accuracy."
yeah. I bet they LARP
And
as
it's like
Civil War reenactors too.
it's so funny. I gotta find one of these, but it's so funny. It's like a page long, and it's like some of the most like offensive racist shit. And at the end of it, he is like, "But it's not because I'm racist, because I just want some historical accuracy in my game." Oh god. But anyway, controversy aside, Chivalry was a pretty good game when it came out. I despite like the shitty fan base. It was a pretty good game when it came out. The Chivalry is getting a sequel with a closed beta set to go live between March. This game looks dope. It looks bigger than what the first Chivalry was. It looks more grand
Yeah,
than what the first Chivalry was.
yeah. Also, shouts out to Geo Kings 100 for the follow. Um, this game looks like what I want out of those like Total War games, where it's like complete chaos, but also like I want to be the one. I want to be the guy. You know what I mean? I want to be the dude doing the siege out of the
Yeah.
thousands. I just want to be the one guy that's just in the shit. And it's kind of like what this looks like. Just way bigger. They're doing a beta on March. Oh, I didn't get the date. Hold on. Wait, March 26, March 29. I think every time I click the seek on YouTube, it like
Okay.
sticks.
I remember. I found the video. It was Mordhau that was doing this.
Okay.
And it turns out it's like a lot more fucked up than I thought it was. A lot of people were like, I think they announced like, "Oh, we're gonna put women and people of color in the game," and people were like, "What the fuck? I don't want women or like people of color ruining my white game." So And so they doubled down because they're like, okay, we'll put a switch in so you could turn them off. So that's what happened. So no, Chivalry's cool. Chivalry's cool. Go buy Chivalry. Mordhau's a fucking piece of shit. And so the developers behind it. Jesus Christ. This happened like in 2019. This wasn't even a long time ago. This is 2019. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It goes both ways because every time someone like decides to make a game and it has like a main character that's a woman, like even the new Grand Theft Auto game, that like the rumors were like the protagonist would be like a female, and people were just fucking up in arms about it, and I'm like, well, why is that a bad thing? Like
Here's the problem. It's a bunch of like pissy guys who for some reason think being a man and being white is like the default. And anything out of that is like, oh, you're virtue signaling. Like, no, like these people fucking exist, dude. Like,
yeah, well, I'm sure it's great, but why is like anything out of why is like anything that's not vanilla, why is that immediately bad, or why is that immediately virtue signaling? Like, do we not can we not is it not do we not think that they could just make a story and that's the story that they want to make instead of the story that they're making just to adhere to some like social like culture shift? Like, I don't like, people get so fucking crazy about this shit.
Dude, I know, it's ridiculous. There's no reason to get crazy about it. And it's so, and people wonder why like gamers get such like a bad rap. It's because of shit like that.
Yeah, well, that's not just gaming. Like, it happens in the movies and TV shows, like everything.
I don't understand why. Imagine going to the bank and seeing a black person and being like, fucking virtue signaling, you're letting black people in here. Like, no, get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you? All jokes aside, Chivalry 2 looks cool. Stay away from Mordhau, I guess. Actually, I don't know what happened with that story. Maybe they realized that maybe turning on a racist switch like isn't the best idea. But sorry to go
racism on or off. Man, this game's so progressive. It has a racism toggle.
All jokes aside, though, Chivalry 2 looks good. I actually kind of want to check this out. That I see. Yeah, it looks dope. Go check out Chivalry 2. It's going to be available June 8th, 2021. Open betas between March 26th and March 28th. Go check it out. We got some game releases coming out. We got a Zero Lane Crosswave coming out on Nintendo Switch February 16th. I don't fucking know what that game is. You put that there without any links, man.
No, you click the title.
Oh, there it is. What the fuck?
Yeah.
It wasn't working like the other links. What is? It's like what is this? What is this game?
What
the hell am I looking at?
Looks like Warship Gunner.
It's like Warship Gunner, but with anime women. That's exactly what this is. It's a warship game, but you play as anime women with guns strapped to their arms. Historic battleships come to life. God damn it, I love Japan, man. While we were debating about whether 6 Days of Fallujah was okay to release as a game, Japan was doing this.
I love it.
I'm just saying, man, who's the real like first world country here?
Only Japan. Japan always likes to turn their like war shit into anime women. Like, they have one where like guns are girls, so like your AK-47's a hot anime chick. They do it for like
I saw
jet
this, like,
planes.
mod that turned like I've seen that. I saw this mod for like Pokemon, like I think it was like Pokemon, not the older ones, like the Game Boy Advance ones that turned all the Pokemon sprites into like anime women. It's the same game, just the sprites for the Pokemon are changed. and it's hilarious. Oh, and the calls were changed. So instead of saying like Bulbasaur or Pikachu, they say like Senpai and whatever else. I don't know what the fucking. I don't watch a lot of anime. I don't know what the tropes are.
Right.
This looks fucking crazy. I would try this, honestly.
It does. It looks pretty good, actually. It doesn't look bad at all.
It doesn't look great either, but I would
Yeah.
try this, dude. It's $20. We'll see. I have a couple beers and we'll see how I feel after. But oh, this is fucking beautiful. That's coming out on Switch February 16th. So if you want to pick it up on Switch, you can do that or get it on Steam now for $20. We also got a new trailer for a PS4 game coming out called Fallen Legion Revenants that also comes out February 16th. This looks pretty cool. It kind of reminds me of like Valkyrie Profile, which I guess is kind of the point. It looks like it's heavily inspired of Valkyrie Profile. Like it looks really cool. Like it's Valkyrie Profile crossed with like graphically speaking, it's a very simple graphic style, but it's very, very much like well drawn. I don't like the animation as much. Maybe Vanillaware just kind of ruined like 2D animation for me in video games. But the game looks nice. It looks really cool. I'm into it, dude. I might actually check this game out. Looks cool as fuck. We also got a trailer for Speed Limit, also coming out February 16th. Now this game, I did actually hear about this one a while ago. Looks absolutely nuts. It looks like a parody action movie that just it looks insane. Like I'm seeing this dude like flying a helicopter and he's like jumping from car to car. He's driving a motorcycle. All the meanwhile, he's got like a pistol he's shooting people up with. It looks insane. This the Speed Limit. That comes out February 16th as well, and it has a demo up now. Yeah, this looks crazy. It looks really cool, actually. I kind of want to check this out. Are you still there, Sabi? Hello, Sabi. You still there, man? I think we might be having some audio issues. Okay. So voice maker crashed. Okay. No worries. I can keep this going. But yeah, this game looks really cool. What else? So Wednesday, February 17th, we have SNK versus Capcom, the match of the Millennium coming out on Nintendo Switch. I've actually been really excited to talk about this one. Those of you who don't know, back in the day, the two biggest arcade game developers were SNK and Capcom. And they both had their own fighting games. Capcom had, Street Fighter, and SNK had like Fatal Fury, King of Fighters, and Samurai Showdown. Well, a deal was worked out many years ago where the two of them would release their own game using characters from both franchises and pocket the money for that game. So SNK made SNK versus Capcom. Capcom made Capcom versus SNK, which Capcom versus SNK 2 is probably one of my favorite fighting games. What's crazy with SNK versus Capcom though is that the first one was actually a Neo Geo Pocket Color game that actually looks like a lot of fun. It's a pocket color fighting game with very simple Neo Geo Pocket Color graphics. I never thought we'd be getting a re-release of this game, but it looks like it's coming out on Switch pretty soon, February 17th. So that's definitely something I want to check out. Also, the Speed Limit game I talked about earlier, that's also coming out February 17th too. So that'll be cool to see. February